Every man carries a river inside his chest. Some let it flow. Some build a dam and drown. I held my sorrow in a cup for 30 years, afraid that pouring it out would empty me whole. The cup grew heavy, heavier than any stone, until I learned that water was never meant to stay. So I walked to the edge of an old wooden bridge, where the current below asked nothing of my name. I opened my hands and released what I feared, and the river did not judge, it simply carried on. Let the water take the weight I used to hold. Let the current write the story I could not tell. I am lighter now than I have ever been. A man made of rivers, finally letting go. My father kept his grief inside a locked wooden box, and I inherited the key, but never turned it once. Now I understand that silence is not strength. It is only water frozen, waiting to be warm. So I melt the ice with every breath I take, and I let the winter thaw into a quiet spring. There is no shame in tears that finally arrive. They are only rivers finding their way home. Let the water take the weight I used to hold. Let the current write the story I could not tell. I am lighter now than I have ever been. A man made of rivers, finally letting go. Maybe peace was never a mountain to climb. Maybe it was always a river to simply join. I stopped fighting the current somewhere last night, and found that surrender felt more like arriving. Now when the evening rain taps upon my window, I do not flinch, I only listen and breathe. The water outside and the water in my chest are finally speaking the very same language. Let the water take the weight I used to hold. Let the current write the story I could not tell. I am lighter now than I have ever been. A man made of rivers, finally letting go. So pour yourself out, there is no need to hold. The ocean was always waiting to welcome you home. Every drop you release becomes part of the tide, and the tide, my friend, never truly disappears. is a closet in every man's quiet mind, full of coats he wore, but never truly was. I kept the coat I wore when I was 25, believing that ambition was the only warmth I knew. It hung there stiff with pride and borrowed color, while the man inside it slowly changed his shape. Now the sleeves are short and the shoulders do not fit. The buttons strain against a chest that beats differently. I stand before the mirror of my fading years and wonder why I kept a coat I never chose. So I open up the closet and I let the old coats fall, each one a season, each one a name I used to answer to. I am not the fabric that the world once measured me by. I am the quiet hand that finally learns to choose again. There was a coat for duty, heavy gray and button tight, and a coat for sorrow, black as a winter without stars. I wore them both at once, for longer than I should have, layer upon layer, until I forgot my own skin. But skin remembers warmth that fabric never gave, and breath remembers freedom that buttons never allowed. So I unbutton slowly, one collar at a time, and feel the air arrive like an old forgotten friend. So I open up the closet and I let the old coats fall, each one a season, each one a name I used to answer to. I am not the fabric that the world once measured me by. I am the quiet hand that finally learns to choose again. Somewhere between the seasons, I forgot to breathe. I built a wardrobe out of every role I played. But roles are only borrowed costumes for a while, and underneath them all, I am still simply me. Tonight I leave the closet door wide open to the wind. Let every old coat drift away like autumn leaves. I walk into the evening wearing only what is true, bare shoulders, open chest, a man finally undressed of fear. So I open up the closet and I let the old coats fall, each one a season, each one a name I used to answer to. I am not the fabric that the world once measured me by. I am the quiet hand that finally learns to choose again. There is no need to wear what no longer keeps you warm. The years will dress you gently if you let them, slow and true. Stand bare beneath the sky and let the light decide what kind of man you are, without a single coat at all. clockmaker built 1,000 hands that moved, but never once could slow the one inside his chest. He spent his whole life fixing other people's time, repairing gears for those who feared the hour too much. But in his workshop, dust would gather on the mirror, while he forgot to look at how his own face had changed. One evening the shop grew quiet, no ticking left to hear, and he sat among the silent clocks he'd built for years. He realized that time was never his to keep or hold, only a river passing gently through his open hands. So let the hour hand move without a single fight. Let the minutes fall like petals from a patient tree. I am not afraid of clocks that count me out. I am only grateful for the ticking I was given. His son once asked him why he never wound his own watch, and the old man smiled and said, I stopped keeping score. There is a kind of freedom in not knowing what comes next, a kind of peace in letting seconds simply be themselves. So he opened every window in his quiet little shop, and let the evening light replace the ticking sound. The dust that settled on the clocks became a kind of snow, soft and forgiving, covering every borrowed hour. So let the hour hand move without a single fight. Let the minutes fall like petals from a patient tree. I am not afraid of clocks that count me out. I am only grateful for the ticking I was given. Maybe the point was never to outrun the hour. Maybe it was to notice every hand that ever moved. I stopped preparing time and simply let it breathe, and found the silence kinder than the ticking ever was. Now I walk without a watch upon my weathered wrist, and still I know exactly when the evening wants to fall. The sun becomes my clockwork, the moon my quiet chime, and I no longer count what I cannot keep anyway. So let the hour hand move without a single fight. Let the minutes fall like petals from a patient tree. I am not afraid of clocks that count me out. I am only grateful for the ticking I was given. Somewhere a clockmaker rests among his quiet hands, no longer fixing time, only living what remains. And if you listen closely to the space between each tick, you will hear the silence that was always meant for you. once believed a good life needed a straight road, until I found the map I carried had none at all. I folded and unfolded paper roads for years, searching for the line that promised where I'd end. But every road I traced led back to someone else's town, never once arriving at the place that felt like mine. So I put the map away inside a drawer of doubt, and stepped into a field with nothing but my feet. The grass did not care which direction I was facing, it only asked that I keep walking, slow and true. There is no road for a life that finds its own way, only footprints laid behind a man who dared to move. I am not lost, I am simply not following anyone. I am drawing my own map with every step I take. The compass in my pocket always pointed north, but north was never where my heart had wanted to go. So I threw the needle to the wind one quiet morning, and let the sun decide the way instead of steel. Now I follow rivers I had never noticed before, and mountains that were hidden behind someone else's plan. The world looks wider when you stop demanding answers and simply let the horizon be enough for now. There is no road for a life that finds its own way, only footprints laid behind a man who dared to move. I am not lost, I am simply not following anyone. I am drawing my own map with every step I take. Maybe the map was always inside my own two hands, drawn in the lines of every choice I finally made. I stopped waiting for someone else to mark the way, and found that wandering was its own kind of arriving. Tonight I sleep beneath a sky with no directions, and wake up wherever the morning wants me to be. There is no wrong turn for a man who owns his walking, only new roads written by the shape of his own feet. There is no road for a life that finds its own way, only footprints laid behind a man who dared to move. I am not lost, I am simply not following anyone. I am drawing my own map with every step I take. So fold away the maps that others drew for you, and trust the quiet compass beating in your chest. Every road untraveled is a story yet unwritten. Walk it slowly, walk it gently, walk it as your own. There is a letter I never sent, folded soft with age, its words still waiting in the quiet of my chest. I wrote it first when I was young and full of anger, then rewrote it kinder every decade that went by. The paper yellowed, but the feeling never truly left, only softened like a stone worn gentle by the tide. I meant to send it to a man who is no longer here, to say the things that pride once told me not to say. But maybe some letters are not meant for the mailbox. Maybe they are meant to teach the one who holds the pen. So I keep the letter close, unsent but understood. Every word inside it finally at peace with me. I do not need an answer to release what I have carried. The writing was the healing, the silence was the gift. I used to think forgiveness needed his voice to arrive, a phone call, a letter, a door opening once more. But forgiveness, I have learned, can grow in empty rooms. It does not need permission from the ones who caused the pain. So I light a candle where the envelope still sits, and I read the words aloud to no one but the dark. Each syllable releases something I had held too long, and the silence answers back with something close to peace. So I keep the letter close, unsent but understood. Every word inside it finally at peace with me. I do not need an answer to release what I have carried. The writing was the healing, the silence was the gift. Maybe every unsent letter finds its way somehow, carried not by paper but by the changes in our hands. I am gentler now because of words I never mailed, and that perhaps was the answer all along. Tonight I fold the letter one more time and set it down, not to hide it but to let it finally rest in peace. Some stories do not need an ending to be finished. They only need a heart that finally lets them go. So I keep the letter close, unsent but understood. Every word inside it finally at peace with me. I do not need an answer to release what I have carried. The writing was the healing, the silence was the gift. If you carry words you never said to someone gone, write them anyway, even if no hand will ever read them. The healing lives inside the writing, not the sending, and peace was always waiting quietly in your own hand. April came again this year, but he did not. I stood among the blossoms, holding only ash. The cherry trees forgot that grief does not take seasons off. They bloomed in white while I stood dressed in gray. I watched the petals fall like something soft dissolving, and thought of all the springs he never got to see. They say that time will soften every edge of losing, but April only sharpens what November tried to hide. The warmth outside feels foreign to the cold I carry, as if the world moved on without asking me to follow. So I gather up the ashes of an April spent in mourning, and scatter them among the flowers he will never smell. Grief does not obey the calendar of blooming trees. It simply visits when it wants and leaves when it is ready. I used to think that spring meant only second chances, new leaves, new light, a door reopening wide. But some springs arrive only to remind us who is missing, a quiet echo underneath the bird's song and the bloom. Still I walk beneath the branches heavy with new color, and let the falling petals land upon my open palm. Maybe beauty and sorrow were never meant as strangers. Maybe they have always bloomed from the very same root. So I gather up the ashes of an April spent in mourning, and scatter them among the flowers he will never smell. Grief does not obey the calendar of blooming trees. It simply visits when it wants and leaves when it is ready. Maybe I do not need the ache to disappear completely. Maybe I only need to carry it a little lighter now. The blossoms do not ask my grief to leave the garden. They only ask that I keep standing here to see them fall. So I return each April to the same familiar bench, and speak to no one but the wind that knew him too. The ashes settle softly into the waiting soil beneath me, and something new, unnamed, begins to quietly grow. So I gather up the ashes of an April spent in mourning, and scatter them among the flowers he will never smell. Grief does not obey the calendar of blooming trees. It simply visits when it wants and leaves when it is ready. If your April still arrives with sorrow in its hands, let it come, let it sit beside you on the bench a while. Grief and blossom share the same quiet patience. Both are only waiting for the right time to unfold. My father gave me his name before I could refuse it. And I have spent a lifetime learning what it means to carry. They called him by that name in rooms both proud and broken. And when he died, the name did not die with him. It settled quietly upon my shoulders like a coat, heavier than any fabric I had ever worn before. I used to think a name was just a sound we answer to, a label pinned upon us before we learn to choose. But now I understand it carries every debt and dream, every silence he left unfinished for me to complete. So I carry the weight of a name that is not fully mine, half his story, half the pages I am writing now. I do not have to be exactly who he was, I only have to honor the space his name still holds. Sometimes I hear his voice inside the sound of my own, an accent of patience I did not know I inherited. The name feels lighter when I stop trying to fill his shoes and simply let it grow into whatever I become. There is a difference between carrying and being crushed, between honoring a name and disappearing beneath it. I choose to hold it gently, like a lantern passed at dusk, lighting my own path while remembering where the flame began. So I carry the weight of a name that is not fully mine, half his story, half the pages I am writing now. I do not have to be exactly who he was, I only have to honor the space his name still holds. Someday I will pass this name to hands not yet arrived, and they will carry their own weight, not merely mine or his. A name is not a chain if we choose to hold it loosely. It is only a bridge between the ones who came before. So I say my name aloud, sometimes in empty rooms, testing how it fits now that I have grown into it. It no longer feels borrowed, it no longer feels too heavy. It simply feels like something I have finally made my own. So I carry the weight of a name that is not fully mine. Half the story, half the pages I am writing now. I do not have to be exactly who he was. I only have to honor the space his name still holds. Whatever name you carry, heavy or unfamiliar still, you are allowed to shape it into something softer, true. The ones before us only lent us where to start from. The rest of the story always belonged to us alone. It is raining tonight, the way it rained the year we lost the house. And memory, uninvited, climbs quietly through the glass. I did not plan to think of you when the clouds rolled in, but rain has always known the way back to old rooms. It taps against the window like a hand that once knocked gently, asking to be let inside a heart that closed its door. I used to run from rain because it carried too much weather, too many years condensed inside a single falling drop. But tonight I let it fall without reaching for an umbrella, and found the water gentler than the memory it woke. So let the rain fall on yesterday's window once again. Let it wash the dust from rooms I thought I had forgotten. Some memories need water to finally come up for air, and I am ready now to let them breathe beside me. How the storm would rattle the old tin roof, and how we counted seconds between the light and thunder. Now the thunder has grown distant, softened into silence, but the rain still finds the window when I least expect. Maybe rain is only time returning in a different shape, falling not to flood us, but to rinse away the dust. I no longer close the curtains when the sky turns heavy. I only listen closer to what the falling wants to say. So let the rain fall on yesterday's window once again. Let it wash the dust from rooms I thought I had forgotten. Some memories need water to finally come up for air, and I am ready now to let them breathe beside me. Every drop that falls tonight was once a cloud of longing, carried far across the years before it found this glass. I do not need to chase it or gather it in my hands. I only need to watch it fall and let it finally land. Tomorrow the sun will rise and dry the window slowly, and the memory will fade back into the quiet grain of wood. But tonight I let the rain and the remembering both stay. Two old friends visiting a house that still remembers them. So let the rain fall on yesterday's window once again. Let it wash the dust from rooms I thought I had forgotten. Some memories need water to finally come up for air, and I am ready now to let them breathe beside me. If the rain finds your window some quiet evening soon, do not close the curtain against what it brings back. Let it fall, let it remind you, let it finally clean the glass, so you can see the past more clearly, and let it rest.
There's a photograph curling at the edges in a drawer, the only proof that summer ever truly happened to us. I do not remember who held the camera that afternoon. Only the light, golden and low across the quiet field. Everyone in the picture is smiling like nothing would end, not knowing the shutter was closing on more than just a moment. The faces have grown softer now, the colors slightly faded, like memory itself deciding what deserves to stay sharp. I trace the edges with a finger that has learned to be gentle, as if touching paper too hard might make the moment disappear. So I keep the last photograph pressed inside a quiet book, a single afternoon that outlived everyone within it. I do not need it to stay exactly as it was that day. I only need to know that once we all stood there together. Some of the faces in the frame have long since gone away, and some I simply lost along the winding road of years. But the photograph does not know that time has moved without it. It only holds the sunlight from a single afternoon. I used to think that losing people meant losing every trace, but paper remembers what our minds sometimes let slip. So I keep this photograph not to relive what has ended, but to prove that it happened, that it mattered, that it was real. So I keep the last photograph pressed inside a quiet book, a single afternoon that outlived everyone within it. I do not need it to stay exactly as it was that day. I only need to know that once we all stood there together. Every photograph is just a small act of defiance, a moment refusing to be swallowed whole by time. I will not need many more before my story finishes, but this one, this single frame, will always be enough. So tonight I place it gently back inside its quiet drawer, not to forget but to let the memory finally rest easy. Some things are meant to be visited softly now and then, not clung to daily, but cherished like a lantern kept for storms. So I keep the last photograph pressed inside a quiet book, a single afternoon that outlived everyone within it. I do not need it to stay exactly as it was that day. I only need to know that once we all stood there together. Find the photograph you have not looked at in some time, and let its faded light remind you what your life has held. You do not need to hold on tightly to keep something sacred. Sometimes the softest grip preserves a memory the longest.
Dear younger self, I am writing from a season you have not yet reached. The leaves are falling here, but so is something heavier than leaves. You will worry so much about the things that never happen, and barely notice the ones that quietly, gently did. You will chase applause in rooms that will not remember you, while missing hands that were reaching out beside you the whole time. I am not writing to warn you away from every mistake. Some of them I think you were always going to need. I am only writing to tell you the autumn does arrive kindly, even after summers you were certain would never end. So here is my letter, carried across the folding years. Dear younger self, you are forgiven for not knowing yet. The autumn light will find you exactly when you need it, softer than you feared, warmer than you ever guessed. You will lose people you thought were permanent as mountains, and gain a quiet strength you did not know you carried. You will learn that some doors closing were actually windows, letting in a light you could not have seen while they stood open. I wish I could tell you exactly when the ache will lessen, but grief, like autumn, moves at its own unhurried pace. Trust that the leaves falling now are only making room for branches to hold something new when spring returns again. So here is my letter, carried across the folding years. Dear younger self, you are forgiven for not knowing yet. The autumn light will find you exactly when you need it, softer than you feared, warmer than you ever guessed. Self, if you are reading this from further on, I hope the winter that follows treated you as kindly too. Tell me, does the snow eventually feel like rest, not ending? I imagine you already know, and that is enough for me. So I seal this letter with a leaf pressed flat between the pages, sent across the years to a version I no longer am. Whoever reads this next, whatever season finds you, know that every autumn eventually leads to something gentle. So here is my letter, carried across the folding years. Dear younger self, you are forgiven for not knowing yet. The autumn light will find you exactly when you need it, softer than you feared, warmer than you ever guessed. Write your own letter to the self you used to be. Forgive them for the things they could not yet understand. Every season you survived was teaching you something quiet, and the autumn, in the end, was always meant to be kind.
years I kept the windows closed against the noise outside, not knowing I was also closing out the light. I built these walls so carefully to keep the storms away, and somewhere in the building I forgot to let air in. The rooms grew stale with habits I no longer questioned, while outside the seasons kept on turning without me. One morning I woke up tired of breathing yesterday's air, and walked across the room to touch the latch again. My hands remembered something my mind had long forgotten, that windows were not made to stay shut forever. So I threw the window open to whatever wants to enter. The wind, the light, the sound of a world still turning on. I am done with rooms that only echo who I was. I want the air that tells me who I still might become. The curtains that I kept so tightly drawn for safety were only ever shielding me from my own reflection. Now they billow softly with a breeze I can't remember choosing, and the light falls differently across this weathered floor. I hear the street again, the birds, the distant laughter, sounds that living rooms forget when they are sealed too long. It turns out I was never afraid of what was out there. I was only afraid of what the quiet made me feel. So I threw the window open to whatever wants to enter. The wind, the light, the sound of a world still turning on. I am done with rooms that only echo who I was. I want the air that tells me who I still might become. Maybe safety was never found behind a bolted door. Maybe it was always waiting just outside the frame. I stepped toward the window and I did not flinch this time, and the morning did not ask me why I took so long. Now I leave the windows open even when the weather changes, because a little rain has never ruined a room worth living in. I welcome every draft as proof that I am still awake, still breathing, still becoming, still willing to feel the world. So I threw the window open to whatever wants to enter. The wind, the light, the sound of a world still turning on. I am done with rooms that only echo who I was. I want the air that tells me who I still might become. If your rooms have grown too quiet, too careful, too closed, walk over to the window and simply let it breathe. You do not need permission to let the light back in. You only need the courage to finally lift the latch.
For 40 years a bell decided when my day began. This morning for the first time I woke up on my own. I used to set 3 alarms just to be certain I would rise, terrified of missing something. The clock declared urgent. Now the clock sits quiet on the shelf beside the window, and the morning arrives whenever it feels like arriving. I thought I would feel lost without the bell to guide me. Instead I found a stillness I did not know I was missing. The sun climbs slowly and asks nothing of my schedule. It simply rises the way I am learning to simply wake. So let the morning come without a single bell demanding. Let the light decide the hour instead of any clock. I am not late for anything the sunrise did not promise. I am only here awake and finally in no hurry. I remember rushing through breakfasts I never tasted, swallowing minutes like they were something owed to someone. Now I sit with my coffee until it turns from hot to warm, and I notice for once the steam curling toward the ceiling. There is a kind of wealth in mornings with nowhere to be, a quiet luxury no alarm could ever purchase for me. I spent so long measuring my worth in punctual arrivals, only to find my peace in simply arriving whenever. So let the morning come without a single bell demanding. Let the light decide the hour instead of any clock. I am not late for anything the sunrise did not promise. I am only here awake and finally in no hurry. Maybe the years I spent rushing were teaching me the value of finally learning how to simply sit and let time pass. I do not miss the bell, I only miss believing I needed it, and that too has quietly faded with the morning light. Now the birds outside become my only gentle summons, and even they do not insist that I rise before I'm ready. I
stretch into the day the way a cat stretches into sunlight. No rush, no schedule, only the pleasure of simply being here. So let the morning come without a single bell demanding. Let the light decide the hour instead of any clock. I am not late for anything the sunrise did not promise. I am only here, awake, and finally in no hurry. Whatever bells once ruled your mornings for so many years, know that quiet mornings are still waiting to be claimed. You have earned the right to wake up simply because you can. No alarm required, only the soft permission of the light.
The storm that flattened half my garden last November also cleared the ground for something I had not planted yet. I stood among the broken stems and thought the season over, certain that nothing good could follow such a heavy rain. But gardens I forgot are stubborn in their quiet patience. They do not read the weather the way worried gardeners do. Weeks later something green pushed through the muddy silence, uninvited, unannounced, exactly where I least expected. It turns out the rain had carried nutrients I could not see, feeding roots that were preparing long before I noticed. So I walk now through a garden built from what the storm left, greener somehow than the one I lost beneath the rain. Not every flood arrives only to take something from us. Some come to loosen soil that was too hard to grow in. I think of all the storms that move through my own history, the ones that felt at the time like nothing but destruction. Looking back, I see the strange and stubborn green they left behind, growth I never would have chosen, but could not live without. Maybe hardship is only rain arriving in a heavier form, unwelcome at the door, but necessary for the roots below. I no longer curse the storms the way I did when I was younger. I simply wait to see what quietly begins to grow. So I walk now through a garden built from what the storm left, greener somehow than the one I lost beneath the rain. Not every flood arrives only to take something from us. Some come to loosen soil
was too hard to grow in. Maybe I am the garden, and the storm was only teaching what my roots could hold if given room enough to try. I stopped resenting weather I could never have controlled and started tending to whatever chose to grow instead. Now when the clouds gather heavy over my quiet fence, I do not run to cover every fragile thing I've planted. I trust the roots I cannot see are deeper than I know, and that the garden always finds its way to bloom again. So I walk now through a garden built from what the storm left, greener somehow than the one I lost beneath the rain. Not every flood arrives only to take something from us. Some come to loosen soil that was too hard to grow in. Whatever storm has passed through the garden of your life, look closely at the soil before you call the season lost. Something is very likely already quietly beginning, waiting only for you to notice it has started to grow.
The curtains in this house are older than most of my regrets, and still somehow the morning finds its way through them. I inherited these curtains from a woman I barely remember. Faded fabric, soft with decades of sun it could not keep out. I always meant to replace them with something newer, sturdier, but the light through the old thread has a warmth I can't explain. There is a pattern in the fading that no new fabric offers, a kind of honesty that only comes from being lived in. I used to think that hope required something bright and unbroken, but hope, it seems, prefers the softened light of something warm. So let the light come through these old and tired curtains. Let it fall in patterns only time could ever weave. I do not need new fabric to let the hope in. I only need a window that has learned to let it through.
tone as worn and faded as this fabric. Lines and creases where the years have left their gentle mark. I used to hide from mirrors the way I hid from morning windows, afraid of what the honest light might finally reveal. But worn things carry stories that the new ones never can. And stories I have learned are where the real light comes from. So I stopped drawing curtains tightly over my own reflection and let the years show softly the way old fabric always does. So let the light come through these old and tired curtains. Let it fall in patterns only time could ever weave. I do not need new fabric to let the hope in. I only need a window that has learned to let it through. Maybe hope was never about staying bright and unbroken. Maybe it was always about staying open to the light. These curtains have seen 40 years of mornings come and go, and still they let the sun arrive exactly when it's needed. So I keep the old curtains hanging softly by the window, not out of habit, but because they finally taught me something. Nothing needs to be new or perfect to still hold the light. It only needs to stay open when the morning comes around. So let the light come through these old and tired curtains. Let it fall in patterns only time could ever weave. I do not need new fabric to let the hope in. I only need a window that has learned to let it through. Whatever curtains hang between you and the morning light, worn or faded, know that they can still let hope come through. You do not need to be unbroken to still hold the sun. You only need to stay open when the morning arrives.
There was a road I did not take when I was 23. And for years I believed that door had closed forever. remember standing at the fork with trembling hands, choosing safety over the wild, uncertain path beside it. I told myself the choice was final, the door was locked, and spent decades never looking back toward what I left. But roads I have discovered are more patient than we think. They wait quietly in the distance for us to turn around. The path I thought had vanished was only overgrown a little, still there beneath the years, still waiting to be walked again. So I turned back toward the road I thought I could not take, not to undo the years, but to finally begin again. It is never too late to walk a path you once abandoned. The road remembers you, even after all this time away. People told me second chances were only for the young, that the road behind me had grown too far to reach again. But I have learned that roads do not measure us in seasons. They only wait for footsteps willing to return and try. So I laced my boots this morning with the nervousness I welcome, the same trembling hands from decades past, now steadier somehow. The fork in the road still stands exactly where I left it, only now I choose the path with open eyes, not fear. So I turn back toward the road I thought I could not take, not to undo the years, but to finally begin again. It is never too late to walk a path you once abandoned. The road remembers you, even after all this time away. Maybe the years I spent on the safer road were not wasted. Maybe they were only teaching me the courage I needed now. Every choice, even the ones we later wish we'd made differently, becomes a stepping stone toward the road we finally take. So I walk now with the weight of years, but not their burden, lighter somehow for finally choosing what I once refused. The wild path beside the safe one welcomes me without judgment, and I finally understand that timing was never the point. So I turn back toward the road I thought I could not take, not to undo the years, but to finally begin again. It is never too late to walk a path you once abandoned. The road remembers you, even after all this time away. Whatever road you left behind at some forgotten fork, know that it is likely waiting still, a little overgrown. You does not forget the years it carried through the valley. It only learns to carry them more gently as it flows. I used to think that healing meant forgetting what had happened, erasing every scar until the water ran completely clear. But the river down below still carries every stone it's touched. It only smooths their edges as the seasons drift along. So I stopped demanding my own heart forget what wounded it, and let the current carry every memory it still holds. The water does not need to lose its history to heal. It only needs the patience of 1,000 quiet days. Let the river remember, let it carry what it must. Let the years smooth the edges of the stones I could not release. I do not need to forget to finally find some peace. I only need to let the water keep on moving through. There is a bend upstream where the water used to rage, where I stood once and thought that I would drown in what I carried. Now the same river bends more gently past that very place, still holding every memory, but wearing them like silk. Maybe forgiveness is only water learning to move slower around the stones instead of fighting every single one. I no longer need the current fast enough to numb me. I only need it steady, patient, willing to keep going. Let the river remember, let it carry what it must. Let the years smooth the edges of the stones I could not release. I do not need to forget to finally find some peace. I only need to let the water keep on moving through. Finally reaches the open sea, carrying every stone it gathered gently to a wider home. I used to fear the ocean as an ending vast and final. Now I understand it only as the river's quiet rest. So I let my own current carry what it carries unafraid, trusting the years to soften what the days once made so sharp. The river remembers, yes, but remembering is not a wound. It is only proof that something lived and moved and continued on. Let the river remember, let it carry what it must. Let the years smooth the edges of the stones I could not release. I do not need to forget to finally find some peace. I only need to let the water keep on moving through whatever stones your own river has carried all these years.
trust that the current is slowly, gently wearing them smooth. You do not need to forget to finally feel the peace. You only need to keep flowing toward your own wide sea.
Mountain does not mind the snow that finally settles. It has been waiting all its life to wear this quiet white. I used to fear the gray that slowly climbed into my hair, as if it marked a mountain losing all its former color. But mountains do not lose themselves beneath the winter snow. They only reveal a stillness the summer never could. There is a kind of dignity in standing through every season, in letting the snow arrive without demanding it retreat. I have climbed enough of my own steep and stubborn years to finally rest beneath the quiet weight of this white peace. So let the snow settle softly on this old and weathered mountain. Let the white replace the color I once fought so hard to keep. I am not disappearing underneath the winter light. I am only becoming still enough to finally be at peace. The younger peaks around me still reach hungry for the sun, racing clouds and seasons like the summit is the point. But I have learned the view was never about reaching higher. It was always about the stillness found once you stop climbing. The snow that gathers on my shoulders does not feel like losing. It feels like something patient finally being allowed to land. I no longer brush it off the way I did when I was younger. I let it settle, let it shine beneath the winter sun. So let the snow settle softly on this old and weathered mountain. Let the white replace the color I once fought so hard to keep. I am not disappearing underneath the winter light. I am only becoming still enough to finally be at peace. Maybe every mountain hopes to wear the snow eventually, to trade the noise of summer for the silence of the white. I stopped resisting what the seasons always meant to bring me, and found the winter kinder than the fear I carried toward it. Now children point up at my snow
and call it beautiful, not knowing it took a lifetime of climbing to arrive here. I stand a little taller underneath this quiet white, grateful for every season that led me to this peace. So let the snow settle softly on this old and weathered mountain. Let the white replace the color I once fought so hard to keep. I am not disappearing underneath the winter light. I am only becoming still enough to finally be at peace. Whatever snow is gathering on your own weathered shoulders, let it land, let it shine, let it finally show you're still standing. The mountain does not mourn its color once the winter comes. It only wears the white as proof of everything it climbed.
The storm that shook this house for 30 restless years finally passed one evening without announcing it was leaving. I do not remember the exact hour the wind stopped howling, only that I woke one morning and the silence felt unfamiliar. For so long I had built my life around the bracing, the tensing shoulders, the listening for what might come next. Now the quiet sits strangely in a house built for noise, like a guest arriving after everyone stopped expecting them. I walk through rooms that used to shake and find them steady, and wonder how long the calm was waiting outside the door. So I sit inside the quiet after every storm has passed, not trusting it completely, but slowly learning how to stay. This stillness is not empty, it is only finally arrived. The peace I kept postponing until the weather cleared. Think that calm meant nothing more was happening, that stillness was the absence of a life worth living fully. But now I understand that quiet holds its own kind of motion, slow and steady, patient, nothing like the storm at all. The silence lets me hear things the thunder always drowned out. My own breath, my own thoughts, the small sound of simply being. I no longer brace for weather that has already moved along. I only breathe here, present, finally unclenched and open. So I sit inside the quiet after every storm has passed,
not trusting it completely, but slowly learning how to stay. This stillness is not empty, it is only finally arrived. The peace I kept postponing until the weather cleared.
I spent so many years afraid of a silence like this one, that I forgot how to simply exist without the bracing.
The storm was loud enough to convince me it was permanent, but permanence, it turns out, belonged to the calm all along. Now when clouds gather distantly along some future evening, I do not panic the way I used to when the sky turned dark. I trust that even if the wind returns to rattle these old windows, the quiet will come back again, patient as it always has. So I sit inside the quiet after every storm has passed, not trusting it completely, but slowly learning how to stay. This stillness is not empty, it is only finally arrived. The peace I kept postponing until the weather cleared.
Whatever storm has finally passed through your own tired house, sit inside the quiet, even if it feels unfamiliar still.
The calm is not a trick, it is not waiting to disappear. It is simply what was always meant to follow every storm.
There is an hour, quiet and unannounced, when forgiveness finally arrives. It does not knock loudly, it only settles softly, like evening light. I spent so many years rehearsing all the things I should have said to people who had wronged me and to the man I used to be. I carried every grievance like a stone inside my pocket, certain that letting go would mean the hurt had never mattered. But grievances, I have learned, do not protect us from the past. They only keep us anchored to a moment we should have released. Forgiveness never asked me to pretend the wound was nothing. It only asked me to stop reopening it every single night. So I welcome now the hour when forgiveness quietly arrives, not loud, not sudden, only patient like the fading light. I forgive the man who hurt me and the man I used to be, and find at last my hands are lighter for the letting go.
was hardest on myself for choices made in younger years, judging every misstep with a cruelty I never gave to others. But the man who made those choices did not have the eyes I have now. He was only doing what he knew, with what he understood then. So I forgive him to the younger version standing in the mirror, frightened, uncertain, doing his imperfect best each day. He was never meant to know the things I only learned by living. And I finally stopped punishing him for lessons he had not yet learned. So I welcome now the hour when forgiveness quietly arrives, not loud, not sudden, only patient like the fading light. I forgive the man who hurt me and the man I used to be, and find at last my hands are lighter for the letting go. Maybe forgiveness was never about the ones who caused the wound. Maybe it was always about the peace I owe to my own heart. I stopped waiting for apologies that were never going to come, and gave myself instead the mercy I had always needed. When old memories surface in the quiet of the evening, I greet them gently, not as enemies, but as old familiar guests. They no longer carry the sharp edge they once held over me. They have softened into simply being part of who I am. So I welcome now the hour when forgiveness quietly arrives, not loud, not sudden, only patient like the fading light. I forgive the man who hurt me and the man I used to be, and find at last my hands are lighter for the letting go. Whatever hour forgiveness finds you, welcome it gently in. Do not rush it, do not force it, only leave the door unlocked. It will arrive exactly when your heart is finally ready. And when it does, you will feel how light your hands become.
After all these years of looking for a place to call my own, I finally understand that home was never a location at all. I searched for home in houses and cities, in familiar streets, certain that the right address would finally make me settled. But houses can be sold and streets can change their shape entirely, while something steadier was waiting quietly inside my chest. I searched for home in people too, in names I could hold on to,
believing love was something that could anchor me forever. But people leave or change or simply grow in different directions, and still somehow I remained wherever I happened to be standing. So I finally understand that home is a feeling, not a place, something carried gently inside, no matter where I go. It is the quiet steadiness that stayed when everything else changed, the one address that never needed forwarding at all. Think of every room I have called mine across the years, every window I have opened, every storm I have sat through. None of them were home until I finally felt at home myself, comfortable enough within my own skin to simply rest there. So now when I walk into any unfamiliar room or city, I carry the same quiet steadiness that never left my chest. I am not homesick for a place, I am simply finally home, in the man who learned to forgive, to release, to simply be. So I finally understand that home is a feeling, not a place, something carried gently inside, no matter where I go. It is the quiet steadiness that stayed when everything else changed, the one address that never needed forwarding at all. All the rivers I have crossed, the coats I have removed, the roads I chose again, the storms that finally passed, were only teaching me the way back to this quiet feeling, the one that lived inside me long before I noticed it. So tonight I sit here peaceful, needing nowhere else to be, not chasing any horizon, not fleeing any old regret. The piano plays as softly as the feelings settling in my chest, and I am, at last, exactly where I always meant to arrive. So I finally understand that home is a feeling, not a place, something carried gently inside, no matter where I go. It is the quiet steadiness that stayed when everything else changed, the one address that never needed forwarding at all. Wherever you are tonight, however far you think you've wandered, know that home was never as distant as you feared it was. It is only this, the quiet feeling of finally being at peace, carried gently, always with you, wherever you may go.